So, what we've noticed is that people have been talking about a couple of very important strategies when it comes to handling infestations. Now, I've been playing this one for a while, and I let my infestations kind of grow wild. Um, I also had them down here growing wild a little bit, but I wanted to just focus them in this set part of town. Um, and we'll go with something that I just heard. We found out that like on this map in particular, because I did all of my stuff up here, my base and my outposts are probably safe. So I did not know that when I started doing this, but apparently that's a thing. So we'll be working on that. But we'll go down here into this area and we'll start looking around at some of these infestations. Now, as you can see, I let it grow quite a bit, and you can see the little green timer as it's going off. And as the little green timer goes around and around, the infestations start sort of reproducing and sending out more stuff. Zoe, if you wanted to talk about that, I wouldn't mind taking a little break while I drive down the hill.
Sure. Yeah, so this is the new stuff that's been in the PTR for a bit. We have a visual listing of both how severe an infestation is, which is to say how many screamers are at that infestation, and the timer, which tracks how long before its next action. Now, in the PTR right now, this is basically just a repeating loop that attempts to spawn a new infestation, and if it can't do that, it attempts to grow the infestation. But there's a lot of cases where neither of those are possible. Like, for instance, when you get to the cap of infestations that can exist on a given map. At present, in the public version of this, when you get there, the timer will just keep spinning over and never do anything, which is not very fun and it's not very visually consistent. So one of the things coming up, based a little bit on user feedback actually, is when you reach that cap, additional infestation turnovers will spawn siege hordes, and they will all head towards your base. So it will no longer be a free lunch when you get to that point. Another thing that we've done in response to user feedback is we have adjusted the distance from the base at which sieges will start. Rather than trying to spawn a siege when they reach the center of your base, which can sometimes run into problems if they're trying to walk through walls or something, we will now spawn a siege when the infestation horde reaches the edge of your safe zone, which gives you a little bit less time to prepare and also prevents the zombies from getting stuck with their weird pathfinding.
Like their inability to climb hills, for instance.
Inability to climb hills, and sometimes they get stuck behind where the screamer is going and they don't quite realize how to get from point A to point B. Something that we are going to be launching next in response to the thing you noted where the map you're on, you're in a space where infestations won't spawn in your direction, is we're working on extra controls and extra ability for infestations to find their way from different areas of the map to where your base is. Mm-hmm. Whether that's by increasing the range at which they search for possible targets, or by something that Cat Life, a coworker, I hope I said his name correctly, implemented recently, where
that's a feral.
Currently infestations just spread randomly. Like the first one that reaches its spread timer will spread. Uh-huh. But that can mean that infestations spread away from the base where we want them to be spreading towards it. So Cat implemented a feature where the system will find the closest infestations to the player base and prioritize spreading from those specifically, which means that overall, the infestation army will move towards your base consistently. So yeah, we're working on how infestations spread across the map so they're more dangerous to an established base, even one in the corner like yours.
Nice. And so, one of the things that folks were noting, what did I just I must have just cleared an infestation by looking at that building. And so that brings us to other things that, oops, sometimes infestations kind of auto clear.
Oh man,
but
it's a screamer.
As you can see, like look at that. There's still 2 screamers like heading out of that infestation.
They got bored. They pieced out.
Yeah, they were ready to move on to a different place. Apparently, they're like, nobody's here to attack us. Wait, what's that? Why did you shoot me in the back of the head?
I think they have some wander AI or something.
Yeah. And then let's see. Will there be a cap to how many infestation hordes can spawn?
Yes.
Okay. And are we sure what that number is, or is that just
Like the infestation growth rate in general, it is determined by your progress in the game and your difficulty.
Aha. Okay. Is it possible for using old or unused cars to prevent hordes from reaching your base? Like a siege horde in this case. And then I don't think so, really. Like, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to have a lot of cars because it's around your entire base, right? Like, and right now, as it stands, the safe zone specifically. So I guess if you had enough cars to just have a huge circle of cars around the safe zone, just outside your base. Yeah. I mean,
the instant you walk away, they'll just walk right through.
Or, you know. And then, is it possible for infestations to turn into plague hearts? From Jimmy VR1, and the answer is at this point, no. And it's a very difficult. That would be a very difficult thing for us to work on. But you know, it's a long game, and we've supported this thing for a really long time. And so, thank you all so much for your support, and thank you to those of you who have played in the PTR and given us so much feedback via our Discord, which you see the link every once in a while in chat, and also just in general, like those of you who have played the requisite 10 hours. The reason we chose such a long time is because the first few hours of a game, you're not going to see a lot of infestations popping up. We want, you know, you still have the basic challenge of getting started, but at some point you're going to start feeling some of the pressure, and that's one of the things that I did learn from playing on the PTR, is that if you just let these things go out of control, they get out of control really fast. And I unfortunately did not get to put any of that on stream, but earlier this morning, as I was prepping for the stream and making sure we were in daylight hours, I had no fewer than 4 infestation hordes, and there was no way I was going to be able to chase them all down. So it's going to change the way that you deal with infestations and you deal with the game and sieges and everything. So really great work that's going on here. So that's my goodbye for today. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's out there. Thank you for being here. You know, we couldn't do these things without you. And well, without you, we wouldn't necessarily want to do these things, because we do these things so that you play the game, and it's great. So thank you for playing our game and for you know, helping us make it better for you folks by engaging with our wish list, by engaging in the PTR, and by submitting your feedback and your playtime. It really helps a lot. So Zoe, any parting thoughts as we go toward the end of the show today?
Nothing in particular. It's always fun responding to y'all's feedback and seeing how you respond to our new additions. It's great fun making the best game we can for you.